Hey there guys, what's up? This is Captain J bringing you another video, and before the video starts, like always, a very quick disclaimer. First and foremost, the music does not belong to me, and even though I may talk about different products, that doesn't mean that this video is sponsored unless I actually say that it is. Without taking any more of your time, let's get right into the video.
Yeah, people come, yeah, people go. I just sit back and collect gold.
Hey there guys, what's up? Captain J with another Red Dead Redemption 2 video. We are going to be traveling back to Gurma once more, but this time it will be faster, as well as visiting Mexico. Yes, Mexico. So go ahead and travel over to McFarland's ranch, because we're going to travel over to this little shack down by the river. So a very fast recap of what you are going to need: alcohol, gin, rum, Gurma rum, any type of alcohol that's going to get you drunk. The cheat code of run, which that will spawn a horse. Of course, take some horse revive and horse stamina. Make sure you also have some food for yourself as well as your horse. Horse revive is also very essential, just in case you happened to kill your horse, which, trust me, it has happened to me before. The horse stamina will be used to cross the river, as well as travel a little faster down over to Gurma, as well as Mexico. There is a little small town that we will be visiting very shortly, because honestly, there's really nothing there. But anyway, let's go ahead and get down to the river so we can cross over. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and give my horse some horse stamina. We have to cross the river. I am going to try to aim for the little rock that is very close to the edge. Not the middle of the river, but the edge of the river. Trying to get closer, or as close as possible, to the shack yields better results. The current is, I would say, averagely fast, especially because we are getting very close to a waterfall. So the best way is just to try to aim for this rock, because it'll make it a lot easier. And here we go, success. I've got it onto here, and now I am good and ready to go for the next one. Make sure you do get your weapons at this point, because we will or have to get rid of our horse to get over on top of the mountains. So the next step would be to head over in this direction. So now I have gotten my weapons and anything else that I'm going to need from this horse. Unfortunately, we will not be able to take him with us. So this is roughly about the location where you want to be standing, kneeling, whatever you want. From here is where you need to drink your alcohol. Like I said, I'm going to be drinking gin, and it's roughly going to take 12, 13 maybe bottles of gin, so that way I will get drunk. And once I spawn in, I will show you the location where I will be standing at. Alright, so he is just about to pass out, and we will now be spawned on the top of the mountain, or right above where we passed out. From here on out, it is very simple to continue. All you gotta do is just, in other words, turn around, go towards, I believe it is northeast, my bad. East, northeast, somewhere over in this direction towards this tree. From here, you can go straight down south, and you are out of the map. Well, we're out of the map once we cross the river, but we are now over on the Oscars of the map. From here on out, you can go ahead and get your horse. Using the cheat, I mean, you can just pause, go to settings, and then get your horse, and you will be good to go. After a small stroll right up the little mountain, the little hill, I came up to the top of this little hill where I used my binoculars to look over to where the hacienda is, or the small fortress or fort. And you can either get up there through the left or the right. It is a little bit of time consuming to get up over that way. Over on this direction we have Gurma. Not specifically here, but over on this general direction is where we're going to go to find Gurma. Now I'm going to get down the mountain and show you the way that I found to get up to this little fortress. So, while trying to get down the mountain, I ended up dying. So be careful when you try to go this way. It was actually dark or nighttime when I actually tried to go down this way, and failed and died. So I had to redo the whole river crossing once again. But back on the same spot where I was at, I am now gonna head down the mountain, and this is roughly the location where I fell. I thought it was safe to actually go down this way, but I didn't. But just to show you that there is no other way to go around this way, here you go. So I ended up going this way, and follow along and you should be over at the fortress in no time. For lack of better words, I failed to tell you guys just to follow the river west, and it'll be pretty easy to get over to this location. So it'll take me just a couple of minutes to get there. So after heading down the little mountain, you can either go left or right. I figured it would probably be a little faster to go over to the right side. Oh, I honestly couldn't have encountered or tell how much of a treacherous path it was going to be. So be patient right here, please, because it is going to be a pain to try to go around this way, but it is a lot shorter than the other way. So follow along, like I said, and we will be there in just a couple of minutes. Alright, and as you all see, the couple of fails that I had and the difficulty that it was trying to maneuver around that little steep hill, it was a little complicated. That edge don't really have a lot of room to get up there. But anyway, we have now on our way up this hill that will lead us straight into the fortress. So we are literally right about to hit it, and here we go. This is the small fortress hacienda, or in other words, Mexico, quote unquote. There's not really much to see here. It is empty. It is a cool little fortress. I did spend a little bit of time just roaming around, seeing what was up, and trying to remember as to how in the hell they left it here from, of course, the first Red Dead Redemption game. But if you like to explore, go ahead. You are now here and you are able to explore as well. I'm just going to be here for a couple of minutes looking around. Of course, I'm going to fast forward so you can see everything that is in here, so enjoy while it lasts. So that was the little fortress, also known as Little Mexico or Hacienda or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if I took too long or I made it too short. Let me know what you think. Now we're gonna go ahead and head to Gurma. So a little earlier in the video I showed roughly this location. So we're gonna be heading over this way, roughly right over on this side where the mountains go. You will be able to climb over one of the mountains and make it a lot easier for us to get over. So let's head over that way. So this is my current location. Right over here is where the fortress is at, and I just went down the hill and then turned around, went up this way. So I'm going to be heading over straight over this way where the hill is located. So you can kind of see where I'm at. If you happen to be on top of the mountain, you might be able to see this rock formation that's on my left now. So just heading around the mountain, trying to get down a safe way and head over those trees to my left. But I did go exploring for a bit. But if you follow the path I laid for you earlier, roughly the direction where you can go, you will find the hills that I'll show you here in a second. Due to a little exploring, I kind of got a little lost and went off track for a second, but I followed the mountain, try to go up the little hills, and this is roughly the location where I was showing you guys earlier. Roughly southeast is where the location will be. Now this right here is the embankment. This is this tiny little place right here is where you will be able to climb. Unfortunately, I have not been able to find anywhere else around, though I didn't take a 100% look around on every single little corner, so this is the best way that I could find. Now you can actually jump up here like I'm gonna do right about here. There we go. So I climb over this way. Unfortunately, the horse will be lost and you will not be able to use that same horse again. Yep, sorry for the bonding. So now we are over this hill and we can start heading east, southeast, roughly. Try to avoid dying because you will spawn back on the main map. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a new horse and get going. So still riding east. Pay attention because you will be able to see this right here. You see that I paused it just where the map changed, and on the bottom left of the mini map you can see that it's now see-through. The reason for this is because the Gurma map has now loaded, and I will show you here on the pause screen. And here we go. I have successfully reached Gurma once again. All of this on this side is just water. So what I am going to do is just start heading east. I'm going to be riding over east, so that way I will get closer to the little spot where I actually need to drop down. So that way it's a little hard to explain, but there's sort of an invisible floor or ground, dirt, grass, all that is just a bit invisible. I did head a little north by mistake, and now I will be going a little bit souther so that way you guys can see what I mean. Okay, so this is roughly the location where I'm at. You want to ride completely east, stay close to the coast as well as the somewhat edge of the water. You'll be able to come, or you should be arriving roughly about this area right over here. This is where technically the map of Gurma starts, and we're going to be dropping down just a little bit more forward. You'll see roughly about the spot where I will be dropping down from. You got to be careful because if you're up too high and you jump, your horse will die. But I did find that trying to go a little close to where roughly the edge of the map ends, which is actually up higher than the actual Gurma map, quote unquote map, it's a little lower, so you can drop down just enough of a height so your horse doesn't die, and that is right about here. You can actually see the difference on the texture right here. You can see the texture difference between the actual map on top of where we're at and the texture on the map where it ends. So it's different. It is invisible. There's no collision there, so if you would happen to drop down, you would fall not to your death because you're technically not on top of water, and you're not so high that your horse or yourself, whenever you drop down, don't die. So I'm gonna start heading down, and I'm going to show you the that you don't actually die once you do drop down. You've seen the location where I was just at, so I just try to find somewhere that I can drop down enough where I believe it would be low enough for me to be able to jump. Now you could jump there in that location where I was at. I just decided to go a little bit more forward, and roughly about this spot is where the ground becomes invisible and you can stop going or start going up a little invisible hill. So there you see that the horse is actually now floating in the air. So right about this spot is where you want to drop down, or right before getting to this, sorry, so where you want to drop down. Okay, just in case you were wondering what would happen if you just keep going east all the way, I have already done this, and it takes you about 5 minutes roughly. And once you get there, you will arrive at a corner of the map where everything is non-collision, and if you try to drop down, you will die, land on the water, and actually die. The good news is, yes, you will spawn in Gurma. The bad news is that your horse is nowhere to be seen. So your horse is actually dead, and you will not be able to use your horse nor call it. So therefore it is a loss of time, or time lost, or it's a bad idea to try to do it that way. So let's try to do it the right way. So while going back and doing a little bit of other research, this is the spot where the invisible hill is located. I know I said you would have to drop down, but I wanted to see if I would actually fall off the map and if I would end up in the water. So this is the invisible hill where the horse is up in the air and you are as well. So I said, what the hell, let me try it out and see what happens. And to my surprise, this is what happened. Yep. So you don't actually have to drop down and be at danger of your horse dying or yourself. So the whole way and everything that I showed you is correctly, it's right. Just this particular part or specific part of the map is where you want to cross over to Gurma and then head south. Just keep going with the rest of the tutorial and you should be good. I just wanted to come back here and double check, so let's continue with the rest of the video. Start heading south. It'll be quite a bit of a trip, but like I said, just keep heading south. Don't stay too close to the water, but don't stay too far up east either. You want to stay somewhat close to the edge because If you go up too high, you won't be able to go down, but if you are too low, you will fall into the water. So I try to keep a somewhat of a decent distance to the water, but not too far towards way too far east. Like I said, over on that way, um, the map becomes invisible, there's no collision, and you could fall. And depending if you're doing it at night like I am, it'll be really hard to see. So follow a nice straight path southeast roughly, and this is what I mean right here. See, if you go too far, you will see that you can be in a roughly bad spot because you can actually fall down. So this is why I was telling you not to go too far. So you want to stay, like I said, a little bit closer to the coast, but not too far and not too far east. Just find a good spot, a good location, and you'll be good to go. Right about here is where you need to be really careful because you're close to the coast as well as the edge of the map where you could fall. So just be careful going this way. I actually almost fell into the ocean when I wasn't being careful. So mind where you're going, just pay attention to what you're doing, and you should be good. So, perfect example as to why you should be careful while traveling on the edge of the little hills, the edge of the ocean, because you don't know where a steep hill will be and you might end up falling down on it. Mechanics were just a little strange and odd, but thankfully I was actually able to get up on the hill. So we do have to cross the ocean. We do have to stay a little close to the edge of the coast. So even though I have been telling you to not to fall in the ocean, there is a part of the ocean where I actually end up crossing it, and that is roughly about here. So make sure you use some horse stamina, so that way the crossing will be a lot easier and faster. Alright, here we go. Made it safe and sound. Crossing the little part of the ocean, the water, it looks a little long, but honestly it's not really, so it's kind of easy to cross. So now you are over the coast of Gurma as well. Now you can ride down towards Gurma, and I will show you a little bit of a strange little house, like I believe it's in the story mode. And I did visit this place for quite a little bit, just kind of looked around, see if there was anything interesting at all here, but unfortunately there wasn't. So I'm gonna head down even farther down into Gurma to the other side of the coast, and I'll show you just a little bit over that way. Alright, so I am right over the coast now. It is somewhat of a long wait, but considering that I am now in a horse, makes this completely worth it. I know I did say that it was going to be a faster way, and I know it's getting onto a long video, but considering that we did visit Mexico as well, and I show you different spots where you should be careful, where you should go, how you should do a couple of things. I just wanted to cover and make sure that you got everything correctly and everything on the right way. Like I said, it is a long video and it is somewhat of a long way, but I do believe and I do think and believe that it is a very much faster way to get here, considering that you have a horse, so that makes it a plus. Down on the coast, now you can explore, and this part is actually a lot easier, a lot better, a lot more convenient. One thing that I will say is that avoid dying at all costs. This includes getting sniped by the invisible sniper. Yes, he can still kill you. Yes, if you go to other parts where otherwise you would not be able to explore, are now open, but still you really have to be careful. I was actually able to come over to the coastline and go up to Cinco Torres, which is the little peninsula place, like the little fortress that's up on where you have one of your fights, you know, during story mode, and you'll have to destroy the big tanker that way. It's like the little fortress up on the mountain, on the coast. You can visit up there, you can see what's up there, you can just look around and stuff, and you won't have to worry about the invisible sniper, so that's a plus as well. So you can explore a little more with a horse. Like I said, you still do have to be careful because he might still kill you in certain places. I didn't really give a damn anymore, and I actually ran into their actual fortress, the main place where they are actually at. I actually did end up running into it, and I ended up getting killed, but it made the trip worth it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I hope this tutorial of how to get to Gurma with a horse as well as visit Mexico was helpful to you. If it was, please hit a like, and if you like my video, subscribe for more. If you have any suggestions of any videos, topics, or anything in particular that you would want me to cover, please comment down below. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Once again, I hope you have enjoyed the video. This was Captain J, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.